What's up, everybody? Youth 1 Football Director here, Ryan Oliver. I am joined by one of the elite athletes in the 2022 class. I'm talking about Terian Williams. Terian, thanks for joining me, man. How are you?
I'm doing real good. Blessed to be here.
Yeah, Terian, how are you staying active during this whole COVID-19 situation?
Going to the park across the street, doing some agility work in the basement, doing some weightlifting, just trying my best with the materials I got.
Yeah, and I know how hard you work. I know you're dedicated to the game of football. Tell me a little bit about the hard work that you are putting in during. I know you said you're going to the park, but what type of workouts are you doing?
I'll be doing agility work with the ladder, cones, or some hurdles, and then I'll switch over do some DB drills. Still doing the little things that we might be doing if we were inside of school, and we were able to go out. Some things I'll do with my DB trainer. Small stuff. Just working on the techniques.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Terian plays quarterback, defensive backs, is a star on special teams, all that good stuff. Terian, tell me about some recent events maybe you participated in and the team you're currently playing for.
I'm currently playing for Grayson High School. I transferred there from Parkview in February due to my sister having a medical condition. I need to be closer to her so that I can help out with her. What was the other question?
Maybe some events you've participated in.
Due to the COVID-19, I was not able to participate in any events. I did have the Elite 11 coming up and the Rivals and the Under Armour. Then I had a few college visits and camps set up, but due to COVID-19, those had to be pushed back, and we'll see how that goes going into the summer.
Yeah, well, the COVID-19 situation's kind of thrown everybody's
Yeah.
plans off, and I know how you are. You have probably a bunch of events, and to for those that don't know, Terian is one of the elite athletes in the 2022 class. You were ranked number 3 on our Elite 101 as an eighth grader, freshman 450 as a ninth grader. Tell me some more of the accolades that you've received over the years.
I was named on freshman year. I was named to the Adidas All American team, and then this past year I was on the Max Prep sophomore first team All American team. So it's just blessed to be on those teams. Just to know that we are 22 classes. It's a good group of guys, elite guys, and just to be named with those top guys and to know the hard work that we're putting in is getting shown and getting the accolades for it. It's just great.
Yeah, and you and I have had a relationship for the past few years, and I've been covering you since maybe you were about the seventh or eighth grade. And I had you ranked number 3 in your class, and to see where you blossomed, to where you're at now. What does that ranking say about you as a player and kind of the success you've had since then?
It just shows from you and you guys at Youth1 showing that y'all seen me early and to know that y'all saw the potential in me to what I can do on the field and just to see me go from seventh grade and going to now 10th grade going to junior year, just to know that I haven't stopped or the potential is just gonna keep on growing and I'm fulfilling what y'all seen in me and just to know that I keep working and keep getting better. Just to know like I keep working, keep getting better and y'all saw what y'all saw in me and I'm just glad that y'all saw that.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is when I first saw your film as seventh grade film as you were going into eighth grade, is you were really shining at quarterback, and you still do that, but you've really, really come a long way in terms of progression as a defensive back. Tell me a little bit about, well, one, which position do you prefer, and two, tell me a little bit about your progression as a defensive back and the work you've put in for that.
Between quarterback and DB, it's very hard. I go wherever on the field that my coaches need me or wherever we can see the best that week going into the game. Going into defensive back, I started training hard defensive back going into high school. I knew going into high school it was going to be hard playing both ways, even though I started making it work as I got older. But defensive back, I started training with I Dare You over there at Coach Ford, and he does some good work, and he got me prepared to be on that field. And I've had a big jump on my defensive back skills and techniques. And in the quarterback position, I've always loved playing that, being in control, being a leader on that field. I love both positions.
Yeah, and so Terian, for someone that hasn't had an opportunity to see you play or been a part of your team, what attributes do you bring to your team, like in the locker room sense?
I'm a leader on the field. A lot of people say I'm like another coach out there on the field. I put the team goals before my own goals. Team goals always go first. Everywhere I go, I'm trying to get state championship. That's the main deal. And then just to be able to lead in it's a lead in a showing manner. I don't just say it. I show it and then lead in that way.
Yeah, and just from knowing you, I know the amount of work that you put in and the dedication you have to both the quarterback and defensive back position. And honestly, wherever you're needed on the field, I know you're going to put in the work to be successful. In your own words, Terian, what are your strengths on the field?
I'll say my strengths on the field are, since I'm playing quarterback and DB, I know what each other's doing. I'm at quarterback, I know the different defensive lineups, how if they're in this formation, they're trying to do this. I can see like the different ways. I can see the dead spots where I can throw the ball, or run different run spots where we can hit. And if I'm on the defensive side, I know what the quarterback's thinking. If he takes a 1-step, 3-step, 5-step drop, I know the route combination. So being able to play both of those over the years have helped me tremendously, and especially at the defensive back spot. When I'm out there, the film study and knowing the quarterback position, knowing the different route setups, it just makes everything easier.
Right, that makes sense. I want to ask you, you've had your share of success on the field. What is your most memorable moment so far in your football career that you could share with me?
Most memorable moments have to be the playoffs. I can't even give you a particular game, even like not just high school, but middle school too. Going through the playoffs and winning with your guys week in and week out. And then even this past year when we played on a holiday, Thanksgiving, like it's rare for you to be able to do that. And just to be able to do that, that's like the most memorable thing. Just to know that y'all still going, y'all are still winning. So that's the best moment.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that you've had your fair share of big moments on the football field. So I know it's not always easy to identify just one. I want to ask you about some of your goals, maybe some immediate goals you have for yourself and some long-term goals in terms of your football career.
Of course, like I said, state championship, that's my goal, and team goal. Of course, that's the first goal, of course. For myself, I would say coming out junior year, coming out after my junior year, I like to be defined as the number one athlete in the class of 2022. And I define athlete as being able to play all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams.
Arian, can you tell me about which colleges have reached out to you so far? I know you've been on a lot of different college radars. Please tell me which teams have offered you so far.
So far, the teams that offer me are Howard, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois State, Florida, Florida State, Rutgers, South Carolina, LSU, Pitt, Akron, FAU, Minnesota, and Iowa State.
And if I'm not mistaken, Howard was the first one, correct?
Yes, Howard was the first one in eighth grade.
What was it like to receive an offer from a school as an eighth grader? What was that feeling like for you?
When you're in middle school, I mean, I wouldn't say you're not thinking about it, but you don't expect it to come that early. You're still in the stages of growing and still in the stages of learning new things. And for them to see me at that moment, they'll always be in my heart. Howard and that coaching staff that they had, I'll always remember that. That's going to be one of the things that I take from me as I go on to college and the NFL.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm sure an amazing feeling to have a school recognize you as an eighth grader because you're not even fully developed physically yet. And I mean, you're still not fully developed now, but especially as an eighth grader, you're not even near your physical peak. But for someone to see your talent and say, okay, like we would like this kid to be a part of our program in like 5 years, like is a pretty amazing feeling. I can imagine. I want to ask you, are there certain characteristics that you're looking for in a college program?
In a college program, I'm looking for somewhere that if I wasn't playing football, I'd be comfortable there. Coaching staff with a family environment, somewhere I can go for 4 years and it gives me like a 40-year degree. Um, Conference doesn't matter. East Coast, West Coast. I'm just trying to fit in the right system, be able to best play and be able to grow as a man.
Yeah, and really quick, I want to ask you about your grades and stuff like that. I know how hard you work in school. Tell me like what your GPA is and that type of thing. What you're interested in school.
I have a 3.8 GPA, 1200 SAT, 24 ACT, and in a school I want to major in engineering. Haven't specifically dove into which type, but I do want to major in engineering.
That's awesome, Terry. And I know how hard you work in school, so I wanted you to be able to share that with the people. Real quick, back to football. I know that with the COVID-19 situation, your off-season plans aren't going to be what they were, but what are some of your plans for the off-season?
Off season, like I said, working in the basement, doing some weightlifting. Um, Across the street at the park, doing some agility work. Me and the guys will send in each other's videos showing agility work. still pushing each other as we can. As a team, we do film study twice, two or three times a week. Still learning the I'm trying to learn a new system. So I do film study 24/7. So really, film study and working out, that's gonna be most of my off season until we able to get back as a team.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I want to ask you another non-football related question in terms of what are some things that you like to do when you're not playing football, just hobbies or anything like that?
When I'm not playing football, I'm still with the guys. We always hanging out together. Whether it's going to the movies, bowling, go karting. Yeah, I'm always with the guys, and then I'll hop on Madden sometimes. We'll play the video games together. So I'm always with the guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, that sounds fun. I got to ask you, um, what music is in your headphones before a big game?
You know what? So at Parkview, we had a moment where we go to sleep for about like a good 45 to an hour, and then we'll wake up right before game time and start getting dressed and stuff. So before I went to sleep, I go to sleep. My favorite artist, A Boogie. I wake up. I might listen to some Lil Baby, maybe some Lil Wayne, something to get me flowing again.
Okay, I like to hear that Lil Wayne might be in the headphones because that's my all-time favorite artist.
Oh yes.
But I know he's older for your generation. Now that your generation likes like a Lil Baby and Gunna and
Yeah.
all those guys, which are they're fine too. Real quick, Terian, I want to ask you, is there anything else we should know about you, maybe that we wouldn't know about you otherwise?
Uh, I'm getting that state championship this year. That's how I say it. And coming out this year, I will be the number one athlete. I work hard. Uh, yeah. Uh, I work hard. That's all I do is work. Grades outside the classroom and inside the classroom.
Yeah, well, I can vouch for your dedication. We met a few years ago, and you were like a seventh or eighth grader at that point. I can't remember which grade you were actually in, but you were grinding then, and I know your hunger has only increased since that point to make it, to make your mark on football and to accomplish your goals. So I'm really proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing. Of course, I'm gonna be following you along with your journey. You know that.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys, this is my interview with 2022 athlete Terian Williams. Terian, keep doing your thing, and I'll catch up with you soon, man.
All right, Ryan. Thank you.